Have you ever stopped to think about how the way we start our day can influence everything that follows? Imagine waking up in the morning and feeling a wave of anxiety or worry flooding your mind. The obligations, challenges, and uncertainties of the day can feel overwhelming. However, what if I told you there is a simple practice that can transform this experience? Morning prayer can be the key that helps us find peace and purpose right when we wake up. We all face difficult mornings. It's easy to get lost in a sea of negative thoughts and uncertainties, but what if instead we made an invitation? An invitation to seek something greater, something that can give us strength and clarity. How would you like your day to be if it started with a deep connection, a moment of surrender and peace? Imagine beginning your mornings with gratitude and hope, allowing the presence of God to fill your home and your heart. Prayer is not just a religious practice, it is a powerful act of surrender. It is a moment when we can align our hearts and minds, preparing ourselves for the challenges that lie ahead. By starting the day talking to God, we make room for Him to guide and strengthen us. In this video, we will explore together how this practice can be transformative and how it can invite the divine presence to invade our lives from the very first moment of the day. When we talk about the importance of starting the day with prayer, it is essential to remember that the quest for a deeper connection is a practice rooted in Scripture. In Isaiah 35:6, we read, "Seek the Lord while He may be found. Call upon Him while He is near." This passage reminds us that there are special moments when we can draw near to God, and mornings are one of those precious opportunities. Starting the day by seeking this connection can help us face the challenges that arise. Often, we find ourselves worrying about work, relationships, or even personal insecurities right upon waking. Prayer in this context becomes a refuge, a space where we can unload our fears and anxieties. By invoking the presence of God early in the morning, we create an atmosphere of peace that helps us navigate the uncertainties of the day. The practice of morning prayer is not just about asking for help. It is a search for alignment and understanding. When we seek God in prayer, we open ourselves to hear His voice and receive His guidance. It is an invitation to reflect on what truly matters in our lives and how we can face challenges with faith and courage. Thus, the citation from Isaiah challenges us not to postpone this search, but to seize each morning as a new opportunity for connection. Therefore, when you wake up, let this passage be a reminder. Take a moment to pause, breathe, and seek the presence of God. Ask yourself, what do I really need today? And allow this reflection to guide your prayer. The beauty of this practice is that by seeking God, we find not just direction, but also a sense of purpose and peace that accompanies us throughout the day. When we talk about morning prayer, it is essential to understand that this act is much more than words spoken aloud. It is a moment of surrender, where we place our anxieties and worries in God's hands. This practice allows us to align our hearts and minds, creating an internal space of peace. Imagine starting the day not just with a to-do list, but with an open heart ready to receive and trust that there is a purpose for every situation we face. One of the great benefits of prayer at dawn is that it helps us establish a clear intention for the day. By connecting with God, we can reflect on what truly matters in our lives. What challenges are you facing today? What are your hopes and dreams? By bringing these questions into your prayer, you not only seek help, but also allow divine wisdom to illuminate your path. This practice can be simple. Set aside a few minutes to sit in silence, take a deep breath, and talk to God about your concerns and gratitudes. Additionally, morning prayer can be a powerful way to prepare our spirit for the challenges that arise. Think of Daniel, who, even amidst difficulties, never stopped seeking God in prayer. When we cultivate this discipline, we are strengthening ourselves to face whatever the day may bring. You can experience this practice by creating a morning ritual. It could be upon waking, enjoying a cup of tea or coffee, or even during a walk. The important thing is that this moment is dedicated to connecting and surrendering the day into God's hands. The morning prayer invites us to a state of gratitude. When we start the day by recognizing what we have and not just what we lack, our focus shifts. Instead of feeling overwhelmed, we can find joy in the little things and strength in adversity. How about, upon waking, mentally listing 3 things you are grateful for? This practice, combined with prayer, transforms our perspective and prepares us to live a day full of possibilities. An inspiring story that helps us understand the power of prayer in challenging moments is that of Jehoshaphat, the king of Judah. Jehoshaphat faced an enormous challenge when he learned that a great army was coming against him and his people. Instead of succumbing to despair, he sought guidance from God, calling the entire nation to a fast and a collective prayer. In 2 Chronicles chapter 20, verse 12, we read, "O our God, will you not judge them? For we have no power against this great multitude that is coming against us, nor do we know what to do, but our eyes are upon you." This scene reminds us that prayer can be a safe space to express our uncertainties and seek refuge in God. What is surprising about this story is that, in the midst of his vulnerability, Jehoshaphat did not give up. He fully trusted in God and led the people in worship and praise, believing that God would fight for them. Instead of taking up arms, they sang and praised the Lord. This genuine surrender highlights the importance of having a heart willing to trust in a greater plan, even when we face fear and uncertainty. Jehoshaphat teaches us that prayer is not just a cry for help, but an act of faith that aligns us with divine purpose and strengthens us. After much trust, God heard Jehoshaphat's prayer and caused the enemies to confuse and destroy one another. What began as a moment of terror turned into a testimony of victory. This story reminds us that even in moments of despair, prayer can be the key that opens the door to miracles. What we can learn from Jehoshaphat is that by starting our days with praise and trust, we can create space for God to act in our lives in extraordinary ways. Today, how about reflecting on your own prayers? Is there something you have kept in your heart, a desire or a concern? By connecting with God first thing in the morning, just as Jehoshaphat did, you too can find strength and clarity to face the challenges of the day. Jehoshaphat's persistence in prayer and praise inspires us not to give up, to keep seeking and trusting, even when the answers seem distant. Prayer, as we have seen in Jehoshaphat's life, can transform not only our days but also our lives. Now, allow me to share a personal story. It was a morning like any other, but something felt different. I woke up with the sense that the day would be hectic. The alarm rang, and as I opened my eyes, I realized that the to-do list was waiting for me. With my heart racing, I hurried out of bed, but something inside me cried out for a pause. I knew I needed a moment of prayer. I sat on the edge of the bed, still carrying the weight of worries in my mind. How can I handle all of this? I thought. With my breath uneven, I began to speak aloud, expressing my anxieties and insecurities. God, I feel lost. I need clarity and peace. As the words flowed, I noticed a sense of lightness beginning to take over me. I was not just asking for help. I was surrendering my day, allowing the divine presence to invade that space. The troubling voices in my mind began to quiet, giving way to a feeling of hope. I remembered what I had heard about the importance of starting the day with gratitude, so even in the face of difficulties, I began to mentally list some things I was grateful for. In that moment, I realized that prayer was not a simple act. It was an intimate conversation, an invitation for something greater to be present in my life. With each word, my confidence grew, and the worries that once seemed like mountains became challenges to face. When I finally left that moment of prayer to confront the day, the feeling of peace accompanied me. The day did not become less chaotic, but I was prepared for it. I learned that morning prayer can be a true foundation, a space where we can find not only comfort, but also strength to deal with everything life presents us. This practice, no matter how simple it may seem, can change our perspective and allow us to see each challenge as an opportunity for growth and faith. How about making this moment a daily commitment upon waking? Transformation begins there, in the early hours of the day. I invite you to take a moment to pause and reflect on how you feel when you wake up. Close your eyes for a moment and take a deep breath. As you inhale, imagine that you are bringing in the peace you wish for the day. As you exhale, release any anxiety or worry that is occupying your mind. Ask yourself, what do I really want for this day? Visualize what your ideal day would look like, filled with harmony and purpose. Then consider, what would I like to offer to God today? It could be a concern, a desire, or even a thank you. Allow yourself to feel this offering as a relief, as if you are making space for the divine presence to fill your home and heart. As you connect with this intention, remember that every morning is a new opportunity, and by starting the day with prayer, you are preparing to embrace everything it has to offer. Dear God, as I open this new day, I want to begin by expressing my gratitude. Thank you for the opportunity to wake up and for everything that surrounds me. Sometimes I let worries and challenges take over, but today I choose to remember all the blessings I have received. I am grateful for my health, my family, and the friends who stand by my side. Help me to see the beauty in the small things, even when the routine feels heavy. In this moment, I confess my insecurities and fears. I admit that at times, I feel overwhelmed and lost. Help me to surrender all of this to you. I want to open my heart and let go of the weight I carry, trusting that you are in control. May my faith grow, and may I feel your presence surrounding me. I ask, Lord, that you guide me throughout this day. May every challenge I face be an opportunity for growth. Help me to act with wisdom and compassion, both for myself and for others. May my mind remain clear and my heart light. May the peace that only you can provide be with me in every moment. And throughout the day, may I be a channel of love and understanding. May I recognize the needs around me and be willing to help. If there is someone in need of encouragement, use me as an instrument of your peace. In every interaction, may I bring a little of your light. Finally, I surrender this day into your hands. May I live with purpose and gratitude, trusting that no matter what happens, I will always be surrounded by your presence. Amen. Throughout this video, we explored how morning prayer can be a powerful tool to transform our mornings, and consequently, our days. We learned that starting the day with gratitude and surrender not only aligns us with a greater purpose, but also offers us peace amid uncertainties. This practice invites us to recognize that each morning is a new opportunity for connection and renewal, allowing the divine presence to act in our lives. So, I challenge you to make morning prayer a vital part of your routine. May you wake up every day knowing that you have the opportunity to surrender your worries and give thanks for your blessings. May the peace and strength you seek always be within your reach. If you enjoyed this content, please subscribe to the channel, leave a like, and share it with someone who could benefit. In the comments, I want to know, how does morning prayer impact your life? Together, let's build a community of faith and encouragement, wishing you a blessed and fulfilling day.